There you go. There you go. Okay. You could say something.
Well, I didn't know you had me live.
Yeah, I got you live.
Okay.
I know this.
It is a pleasure to be able to bring you the absolute truth.
Gotta keep this up.
My name is John H. Shaw Jr. I'm well known as Elder 360. This is some information that I didn't read from a book, nor did I hear it from the lips of another man or woman. I began to receive this information in 1977. Only creation and facts that are true throughout the universe was used to explain to me how everything functions naturally. We will begin with the law of repetition.
So somebody come in and watching the live.
The law of repetition is a universal law that makes everything in creation repeat the same basic patterns over and over and over again. I'm quite sure that you heard about karma. You heard about reaping and sowing. You've heard about what goes around comes around. I used to say what goes around comes around was true some of the time and not all of the time, because I said you could be good to some people and those people will turn around and be negative to you. And you can be positive with some people and they'll give you positivity in return. So from my way of thinking, I say what goes around comes around is true some of the time, not all of the time, because you don't get the same treatment that you put out from the same people. But here's the information that was given to me that proves that what goes around comes around is an absolute truth. This is the illustration that the Creator gave me. Winter, spring, summer, and fall repeat themselves every year. The earth rotates in a circle. The planets rotate around the sun in a circle. We eat and get hungry over and over again. This is what the spirit that governs the entire universe was bringing to my attention. We drink water and get thirsty over and over again. The rain falls from the sky and the sun evaporates it up again. The earth rotates in a circle. The planets rotate around the sun in a circle. We give off carbon dioxide. Plants take in the carbon dioxide, inhale the carbon dioxide, and convert it into oxygen. We inhale the oxygen and convert it back into carbon dioxide. What the Creator was revealing to me is that everything in creation has a repetitious pattern and a repetitious nature. When we pay attention or observe all of the things that's made by men or women, they do the same basic thing over and over again. The car, the computer, even a light bulb, the telephone, all the machinery made by men or women does the same basic thing over and over again. When we drive our cars, the tires on our cars go around over and over again. If everybody on the planet was told they could receive $1 trillion by identifying anything in the universe, that doesn't have the same basic repetitious pattern or repetitious nature, nobody could get one dime. So this allowed me to see and understand that there is a law of repetition. Try to identify something on your own that doesn't do the same basic thing over and over again. It would be impossible to do. So you could be good to someone and that person be negative to you in return, but what must happen is someone must come along and be good to you simply because there's a law of repetition. The good you put out must automatically come back. So when you do something positive for someone, you can rest and be sure that that positivity will come back to you because of the law of repetition. And if you do something negative to someone, you can rest and be sure that the negativity will return to you simply because the law of repetition makes everything in creation return back from which it came. And this is the information that I learned without reading the book. I asked that intelligence that governed the entire universe to share with me what it wishes for me to know. And I must say, it is a pleasure to have no doubt of whether I reap what I sow, or whether people reap what they sow. Now, this is the illustration that was given to me. And I see nothing wrong with it because I have analyzed everything, basically. And everything that you can think of, I can think of, does the same basic thing over and over again. So that is the information about the law of repetition. I was asked a question in meditation that helped me understand a law I was hearing, but I never understood it. And this law is a law for every action. There is an equal and opposite reaction. The law for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, means the reaction is equal on both sides. I was asked a question in meditation, and the question was, what are the things created that you reap? And I said, what are the things created that I reap? No one ever asked me that question before. But I realized after a few minutes, I said, oh, if I've never sown anything, I can't reap it. So the exact same time that we create the positive or negative upon someone, this is when we create the positive or negative that we reap. Anything we do positive or negative, good or evil to others, automatically is prepared for ourselves to reap. Now, as I said, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, means the reaction is equal on opposite sides. Now here's a good universal fact to put in this scenario. Everything in the universe is an entity. Everything in the universe is one individual thing. An entity is one individual shape, fashion, or form. Each grain of sand is one individual grain of sand. This is what the Creator made me pay attention to. Every person is one individual person. Every cell that make up our body is one individual cell. Every animal, every bird, every star, every planet, every action is one individual thing. So this is something that was brought to my attention that no one in my life ever made me pay attention to. My mother, my father, my uncles, my aunts, my friends, no one ever told me, not even a stranger, have ever told me to observe creation and realize that everything is one individual thing. But if the Creator told everyone they could get $1 billion if they can identify anything that isn't one individual thing with the purpose that it served, nobody could get one dime. No matter what it is, every action, every word, every letter in a book is one individual word, or one individual letter. So if the Creator told all the people on the planet they could receive $1 trillion if they can identify anything in creation that isn't one individual thing with the purpose that it served, nobody could get one dime. Stick with me now. Let's apply this to the fact that there is a law of repetition. And that law of repetition is one individual law. It makes everything repeat the same basic patterns over and over again. And the law for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, is one individual law. It makes it possible for us to prepare the things that we reap. So these two laws are the judge and jury to every living thing in the universe. We all reap what we sow, naturally, because of these two laws. Now, for the last part of this lecture, we'll talk about the will. And I learned this in 1977. And it made me jump up and run to tell my friend. I ran and told Jimmy Lowe that I have discovered what is the only thing in the universe that make things manifest or materialize. And he said, Shane, if you found that out, you could put it in a bottle, sell it, and get rich. But here's what I found out. This is what the Creator gave me. Everything in the universe is an entity. Everything is one individual thing. So that fact has already been established. Now the second fact is this. The will for the creation to exist must exist before the creation itself. Before you drive your car, you must will to get in it. You must will to put the key in the ignition. You must will to crank it up. You must will to go in the direction you want to go. Before you fix breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you must will to fix breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Before you walk to the store, before you call your friend, use your telephone or your computer, you must will to do so. Before you speak to someone, you must will to speak to those people. Before God created the sun, the moon, and the stars, the Creator willed for them to be. Before God created the sun, the moon, the stars, the fish of the sea, the animals, the birds, before that intelligence that governed the entire universe made anything or created anything, or before men or women create anything, before a bird fly, before a fish swim from one point to the next, they first must will to do those things. So if everybody was told they could get $1 billion if they could show something created or made by any living thing before that living thing willed to create it or make it, no one could get one dime of that money. And this is what I like about this truth. This truth is totally profound. Can any of you identify anything created or made by any living thing before that living thing willed it to be? Can any of you do anything before you will to do it? It's impossible. So as you can see, this truth is true throughout the universe. Even if it was an alien on another planet, before that alien could do anything, first, they must will to do what they do. So as I said, if the Creator told everyone they could get $1 billion by identifying anything that isn't an entity, that isn't one individual with shape, fashion, or form, they couldn't get one dime, or identify anything created or made by any living thing before that living thing willed it to be, nobody could get one dime. So we have two facts here that is true throughout the universe. It's true throughout the universe. You go anywhere in the universe, everything will be an entity. You go anywhere in the universe, before anything is created or made by any living thing, that living thing must will for the creation to exist. So let's add these facts up. If everything is one individual thing, doesn't that mean the action of willing for something to be is one individual action? Yes, it does. And if before anything is created, the action of willing must be used first, that proves the action of willing is a separate action, has its own purpose, and its only purpose is to cause all things to manifest or materialize. Now the third and final fact that goes along with it is this. Everything created by the Creator exists in a variety. You find one grain of sand, you find a variety. One human being, you find a variety. One bird, one animal, one star, one atom, proton, neutron, or electron, you find a variety. So if the Creator told everybody they could receive $1 trillion if they could identify anything created by the Creator that doesn't exist in a variety, nobody could get one dime. So this means without a shadow of a doubt, the action of willing exists in a variety like everything else. Each and every individual has a will of their own. Everyone that's listening to this broadcast has the ability to will for something to happen. A bird has the ability to will to fly, will to find food, will to eat, will to drink water. The Creator must will for everything to be simply because the action of willing is the only entity we have and anybody else has that can make anything manifest or materialize. So this proves that each and every individual is equipped with the only force in the universe that make things manifest or materialize. And that's your ability to will for something to be. Can't you see how powerful you are? When you will for something positive or negative to be for another, you are sowing. You are creating. You can't do anything physically, say anything verbally, or do anything spiritually until you will to do it automatically. If you don't believe me, try to do something before you will to do it. And you'll see it's impossible to do it. You even have to will not to do it before you do it. And that's 100%. Try it. Try to make something happen before you will to make it happen. And you'll see it's impossible. And this is the information that I received in meditation without reading the book or hearing it from the lips of another man or woman. Now this is the conclusion of it all. This is the illustration that was given to me that actually proves what is the most powerful technique in the universe is. When you bless those who curse you, you automatically win. And I didn't think that was a wise thing to do. To will for the ones who curse me or misuse me to be blessed. I thought it was a slave teaching. I said, man, y'all need to stop teaching that slave teaching. Why I want to bless somebody who is trying to destroy me in any way, shape, fashion, or form. But here's the information that I received that caused me to see when you bless those who curse you, you're using the most powerful technique in the universe. The scenario that was given to me is that there's an east and a west side. And the east and west side has people on the east and west side willing for negativity to happen to each other. The people on the east side and the west side is thinking of negative things, and everything negative that they could think of, they was willing for it to happen.
What?
And by it being a fact that the will is what makes everything manifest, the negative vibrations, the negative visions that they have in their mind begin to materialize. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That means both sides has created something negative for themselves to reap. Now, the law of repetition must make all that negativity that they were willing into existence for each other go around backwards and forward to each other. And this is the truth. This is the whole truth. When you will for something positive or negative to happen to each other, you're automatically causing the positive or negative things to come into existence without moving a muscle or saying a word. Automatically. And this is the way it works. Now, here it is. Let's say the people on the east side is willing for the people on the west side to be cursed, and the people on the west side is willing for the people on the east side to be blessed. The action of willing is what makes everything manifest. So curses and blessings materialize. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That means one side has created a curse for themselves to reap, other side has created a blessing for themselves to reap. Now the law of repetition must make the curse go back to the one willing to curse, and the blessing go back to the one willing to bless it. So when you bless those who curse you, you automatically win. Your blessing come back to you, and their curse go back to them. But if the people on the east side is willing for the people on the west side to be blessed, and the people on the west side is willing for the people on the east side to be blessed, what happened automatically is blessings materialize. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That means both sides has created a blessing for themselves to reap. Now the law of repetition must make a blessing go around for a blessing. And both sides are automatically blessed. So only a blessing can come around for a blessing, a curse for a curse, and not a curse for a blessing. What makes this the powerful technique in the universe is this. The action of willing is what makes everything manifest. And what greater way can we use our will other than willing for someone to be blessed in the way the Creator wants them to be blessed? Last and final, visualization is the most important thing. Before you make breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you got to visualize it. Before you drive your car, you got to visualize getting in it. Before the Creator created the sun, the moon, and the stars, the Creator visualized it automatically. And this is what the Creator was bringing to my attention. It is impossible to do anything before you visualize it. Try to create something before you visualize it, and you'll see it is impossible to do. Now, everything is an entity with a purpose that it serves. That means the vision is one individual thing, and the vision is its first state all creations exist in. And the vision is what manifests into the material matter. Because when you look at creation, you can see the trees got weight, occupy space, we have weight, occupy space, the animals, the birds, but they was visualized first. So that proves that it's mind over matter. So when you have a vision and you are willing for the vision to be, the will is what makes the vision materialize. And this is where your power is. Remember, this is Elder 360, bringing you the highest wisdom in the universe to help free all people from physical, mental, spiritual, and financial slavery with a universal message from the creator of the universe. And I would like to thank Velvet Mahat for inviting me on her platform to share the absolute truth with the kings and queens, and blessings. May the best vibrations from the creator be upon us to attract the best wisdom, knowledge, love, understanding, peace, money, guidance, protection, and health. I say.
Hey. Well, infinite love and life and good vibrations. This is one of my very first lives. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're going to get it right. See, practice make perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's what Grandma always told me. I wanted to bring Elder 360 on my very first live because I figured out if I start my lives off with a high frequency vibration person, what better way to get the rest of the lives coming through? You know what I'm saying?
That's right, Queen. That's right.
Yeah, King. So we just wanted to come through and tap in, and this is the formula that I have been using for a lot of years. But now, a lot of us, like he said, we have those supernatural abilities. But once we realize and tap into those supernatural abilities, we do make things manifest into our reality.
That's right. That's
You
the
know what
only
I'm
way it
saying?
happens. The only
And
way
that's
it
why I love that mind over matter, because let me tell y'all something before I leave. Without that mind over matter,
happens.
I would have been locked up. Okay? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's a long story, but we ain't here for that. But we're gonna leave this on a positive frequency. I'm gonna put this tuning bowl in, and I'm out.
All right, one more time. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Velvet, for the opportunity to actually share my passion, universal physics.
It's my pleasure.
Everything manifests from thought we see. Thought is our only reality. Thought manifests from an unseen state to a seen state. Now, kings and queens, what logics do you anticipate? Give myself and Velvet my heart a good thought, and we'll give you one too. Because thought patterns is what's going to carry us through. The right thought pattern. Real blessings for each other. All right.